Hi, and welcome to Animal Zone. I'm Arthur von Wiesenberger, and this handsome fellow is Mikey, my adopted pit bull. Animal Zone is the A to Z on everything about adoptable pets. Whether you're looking for a bird, a cat, a dog, or even a tortoise, we've got experts who can share their knowledge and insights. So cuddle up with your favorite critter and join us as we explore the Animal Zone. Today on Animal Zone, we're at the Helen Woodward Animal Center in Rancho Santa Fe, San Diego County. And this place is amazing. I mean, they have dogs, they've got cats, but they've also got goats, they've got horses, they've got llamas, they've got alpacas, they've got cockroaches. Let's go in and check it out.
Bonjour Alex.
Bonjour Renaud.
Happiness? It's great food prepared the French way.
Chocolate eclair.
What makes you happy?
A touch of Paris.
Without the trip to France. Handcrafted daily in our bakeries, especially for you. Indulge yourself.
Bon appétit.
Please visit Renaud's in Gelston, Santa Barbara, Long Beach, and La Cañada, Flint Ridge.
The Santa Barbara Humane Society is an independent, local, community-based nonprofit with adoptable animals ready to find a forever home today.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we provide low-cost spay and neuter services and vaccinations. It's important for your dogs and cats to get vaccinated to prevent illnesses. And spay and neuter surgeries help prevent unwanted pregnancies and can benefit the health of your pet.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we want you to adopt, not chop.
And we're here with Jessica Girk, who's the PR director of the Helen Woodward Animal Center. And Jessica, you brought some little friends with you, didn't you?
I did. They're seasoning. It's parsley and nutmeg are their names, and they're going to spice up our life in this interview.
This one is so cute. Now, they are, what we think, a little Chihuahua,
Dachshund
little Dachshund?
Chihuahua blends, they say, and they are 2 months old and available for adoption at Helen Woodward Animal Center.
So a little dog like this, how long will they last before they get adopted?
You know, we're really, really fortunate at Helen Woodward Animal Center. Our animals, particularly the puppies, really maybe 3 to 4 days is as long as they stay here. Now, of course, they're with us a lot longer than that. In fact, one of the reasons that we have so many puppies is there are a lot of organizations that can't take the 2 months that they need to take care of them and raise them and make sure they have all the medical care and everything they need. A lot of shelters don't have that space and that ability to do that. We have a beautiful foster network that allows us to take as many puppies as there are available and make sure that we can get them to the 2 months before they need to be neutered and spayed so they can go available for adoption.
So when you have these beautiful puppies that get fostered, does that also help them get socialized?
Oh, it's a fantastic way to socialize them. And you know, whenever I'm going and talking with people like you, I really can tell the difference. You can see these puppies are very comfortable being held. One of the kindest things people can do for an organization, not everybody can adopt and not everybody has the time to take a full-time dog, but if you can give even a couple weeks or maybe a month to an orphan pet, you really can change their lives, make them more adoptable, and we notice it all the time, and we're very, very grateful.
And it's most effective when they're young like this.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know, I mean, all dogs, if they can be fostered for a time and start to get used to the comfort of having somebody there every day and having them on a routine, no matter what age they're at, they're gonna be better for it.
Speaking of young, I notice you have kids around here.
Yes.
Do you do educational programs?
So Helen Woodward, when she started the center in 1972, she started it with 2 programs, adoptions and humane education. And those 2 programs to her were the most important because she felt that at the end of the day, the only way we're really going to change the world for animals is if we start by educating young people. She felt that adults sometimes where they are and the way they view animals, that's not going to change. But if you start teaching compassion to kids at a very very young age. They're going to grow up loving animals, and eventually more and more we're not going to see the situation that we find some animals in. Of course, since that time, we now have 14 amazing programs, all dedicated to the mission of people helping animals, animals helping people. And that's everything from our humane education to our pet encounter therapy, to our therapeutic horseback riding, to our companion animal hospital, to Animals, and all sorts of amazing programs here that we have at Helen Woodward Animal Center. And it sure is amazing to get to see how the world is a better place based upon having these little guys in our world.
And this is a big property. I mean, when we arrived, I thought, wow, there's a lot of buildings here.
12 acres. 12 acres.
And I guess over all these years, huh?
Yeah.
Was it since 1972?
Since 1972. So what she did was she left us with the acreage, which is lovely. So we have been able to put new structures, and in fact our adoptions building is brand new this year. So that's the first time that we've had, we had an older building that just was rebuilt and now is state of the art and beautiful. But we've added all sorts of other structures so that we can house the amazing programs that we have that are also getting a little puppy love there.
I know. Oh God, I'm gonna take this one home with me.
Feel free. Always looking for adopters.
I mean, you have not just obviously puppies, but I notice you have horses. You've got I think a llama over there.
We've got alpacas, we've got goats, we've got blue-tongued skinks, we've even got hissing cockroaches. And all of those are education ambassadors for the kids. The kids get to meet them, understand all the beautiful things that those animals do for the world. And each one of the creatures that we share this world with are valuable, beautiful, amazing creatures that are adding something. By teaching kids about that, we're really showing them it's not just us here. We've got a responsibility to make sure that those animals are loved and cherished and really taken care of. So all those beautiful animals out there are doing a service for us and the kids. And then of course we adopt out cats and dogs.
And do you have any idea how many animals you've adopted out since you started?
Well, gosh, it's got to be, I know every year at this point, over 3,000 dogs and cats come through our doors and find forever homes. Of course, as you mentioned, we've been around for a long, long time, since 1972, so over 40 years. So, I mean, I think one time we did some sort of a number, and it was crazy how many have gone through our doors, but we also have programs like Home for the Holidays. That program, we work with 4,000 rescues all over the world to try to get orphan pets into loving homes during the holiday season. And I happen to know for a fact that 16 million animals have found their homes through that program. So
incredible numbers.
Really exciting. We like to see how many homes are being made more beautiful by pets like these.
Wow. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for showing us these two delightful little creatures. Very spicy
spicy,
moment
right?
here.
Just spicing up our lives right now.
It is indeed. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got more Animal Zone coming right up. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Every morning you could count on it being there with the rise of the sun. We're proud to say we've been there every day with you. The Santa Barbara News Press plans to continue sharing the news of the day with you all through the year and beyond. It's nice to know there are some things you can still count on. The Santa Barbara News Press, serving Santa Barbara since 1855.
Subscribe today. Call 1-800-654-3292.
We're here with Gretchen with the Therapeutic Riding Program at the Helen Woodward Animal Center. And what is therapeutic riding?
So therapeutic riding is horseback riding. We're teaching a riding skill with an emphasis and an awareness of our riders' special needs and the therapeutic benefits that they can have from a horseback riding lesson.
So tell me about the physical support that a horse can give a person.
Absolutely. So a horse's movement at the walk is very similar to our own. So when you're sitting on a horse and you're riding, every half hour, your hip and your core is doing the equivalent of about 2,000 steps on the ground.
Oh.
So while maybe your legs aren't doing that motion, there's a lot more to being mobile and staying upright and being balanced than just your legs. So the hips are getting that rotation, your core is getting that workout, and we do see increased mobility in our students from the time that they spend on the horses.
Does a horse perceive what you're feeling and what you're thinking?
Absolutely, absolutely. So a student who is going to be nervous or anxious, the horse is going to be maybe a little brighter, maybe a little more alert. And our horses actually are especially chosen and trained because they are a little more relaxed about that sort of feedback. They can be a little calmer so that the student can have those moments but still be able to have a horse that helps them to get through it to the other side. And a student that is really active and bright, the horses is going to reflect that to them as well.
I also noticed when we walked in here, you've got a donkey. How does the donkey play in all this?
Well, the donkey is actually used in our education department, but for our therapy students, we actually will come on what we call trail rides here through the barn, and it's a really fun animal for them to interact with. We have some students who will really recognize that they're different. Some students who maybe aren't as environmentally aware. There's an animal that is different. Their ears are a lot larger than their horse. The coloring's different, and so it's a really fun, interactive part of the experience here.
Now, some of our audience probably thinking, wow, I could adopt a horse. But there's a lot to having a horse in your life, isn't there?
Getting the horse, the purchasing of the horse is the cheapest part.
Or adopting
and the
it.
least, or adopting, and is the least intensive part. Horses are large animals. They have extended lifespans. They're going to live 30 to 35 years, depending on the care that they get. And they need care every day. They need to be groomed every day. They are going to eat, Jack here, for instance, eats up to 4 flakes of hay a day. And a flake is a bale, a bale is going to last him maybe 3-4 days. So that's a lot of food, and that's just one horse. And that doesn't count supplements that we give him to keep him healthy and keep his joints healthy. It doesn't count regular veterinary care. It doesn't count farrier. The horses get their feet trimmed and cared for every 6 to 8 weeks. So it's a big commitment. It's a big commitment to have a horse in your life.
Right. But a wonderful one.
It is a very rewarding one, yeah.
Well, thank you, Gretchen, for showing this to us. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more Animal Zone. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Care for Paws was started in 2009 with the goal to reduce pet overpopulation and keep animals out of shelters, and also to ensure that pets can stay with their owners for life. We, from the get-go, established a free spay and neuter program that would help low-income pet owners fix their pets. So we provide shots, microchips, dewormer, flea treatment. We also have a veterinary intervention program. It's a way for us to help improve the quality of life for the animal as well for the owner, because when an animal suffers in the family, so does the rest of the family.
We're here at the Helen Woodward Animal Center with Robin, who is a pet therapy encounter manager.
Yes.
And what is a pet therapy encounter manager?
So the Pet Encounter Therapy Program is a wonderful program that was started at the Helen Woodward Center in 1983, and it's about bringing the wonderful love and healing of animals to people in need. So we go to hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, work with children, with veterans, anyone that needs the love of an animal, we're going to show up.
And here we have a little furry friend of yours. Is this one of the therapy animals?
Yes, this is Sniffles. And you know, for the most part, when you think of pet therapy, you think of dogs working, and dogs really are quite wonderful at the work. But we've found that there's a lot of other animals that can help people to heal. And Sniffles loves the job. We never have an animal work in the program unless they love it. And I mean, if you think about it, she goes out, she gets a massage, she's told she's cute. That's a good job.
I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And how about allergies? Do people have allergies to bunnies?
Bunnies have a similar fur to cats, so we always ask if there's any allergies, and we make sure that it's safe for the client. All of our animals are tested for behavior, for medical issues, to make sure that they're very safe when they go in. And you know, once we find out they're not allergic, they just love to snuggle these beautiful animals.
That's so great. Now, what other animals are there as far as therapy animals?
So we have a lot of dogs in the program. We welcome any dog that can pass our test. Our biggest dog is an 8-pound Pomeranian. You'll be meeting a little bit later. And we have a 145-pound Newfoundland that goes out, and everything in between. We have cats that go out. You know what the biggest issue is with cats?
Fur.
The car ride.
Oh, yes,
if you've ever taken a cat on a car ride, they don't really enjoy it. So we want to make sure that our pet therapy ambassadors enjoy the transport out there. So if we can find a cat that loves people and the car, it's a good deal.
Wow.
Yes. And we even take reptiles out.
Wait, now what kind of therapy could a reptile do?
Well, you know what? We never take reptiles to anybody that's immune compromised because we don't want to take the chance of any transmission of, you know, bacteria. But for some children that are healthy but maybe dealing with other life experiences, being able to hold a snake, conquer a fear of a snake. There's a calmness when you hold a snake, especially for children that might be on the autism spectrum, because it's a very subtle touch from a snake. And I tell you, the reptiles really do have a lot of benefits. All animals have something to offer.
Sounds like you've got a real Noah's Ark here.
It is the best. It is. And amazing volunteers too. I mean, the human side, sometimes the animal, it's just about the animal, but a lot of times it's just a bridge for the animal to bring the two people together. And I've met some incredible people that I may not have met had it not been for the pet therapy.
That's terrific. Well, I love what you're doing here, and I gather you also do educational classes right here. And
yes.
Maybe we get to meet a few of your snakes and lizards.
Oh yeah, we'd love to. You know what? In fact, I'm going to hand off this bunny real quick and bring you a bird that I can kind of talk about.
I knew I was going to the birds eventually here on AnimalZone.
So this is Chica, and with education, it's all about teaching. Is it okay if I put her on your shoulder?
You can put her anywhere you want.
There we go.
Hi, Chica.
Now, with the animals, what we want to do is we want to help people understand that they give this incredible love to us, but they also deserve that love and respect in return.
Right.
And humane love is for other humans, for animals, treating this world with respect. The only way we're going to make a difference is to teach the next generation how to do better, how to take better care of the planet, better care of the animals, better care of ourselves. And so Chica is an animal education ambassador that helps people to learn the best way to go.
What's up, Chica? What does Chica like to eat?
She likes seeds. She loves to be given little, we have these little tropical fruit treats that she really enjoys. Pretty much anything that she can chew on is a favorite.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's so calm.
Oh, you know, again, we only bring animals into our program that enjoy this. If they don't enjoy it, we find them a home that's better suited, quieter for their personality. So the ones that are here, they love the work.
Wow.
They're part of our family.
It's a great family.
Yeah.
Well, let's go next door and take a look at some of your other members.
Okay, Miss Chica, are you done educating? Let's go.
So, Robin, usually we don't have much bologna on AnimalZone, but you've got bologna in your lap.
I got the best bologna. This is this wonderful sweet Pomeranian. It's named Bologna, and Bologna is one of the therapy dogs in our program. I adopted him when he was 11 and a half. He was abandoned and needed a new family, and I said I would foster him for a few days, and that was 3.5 years ago. And as I got to know him, I just saw this love of people, love of different people, and I thought, you know what, he has something to give, and so he started his work as a therapy dog.
So does he work with children, with seniors?
He's really good with any client, but I think his favorites are with seniors, hospice work, and with teens and kids. Those are the ones that he just lights up and smiles the whole time. He travels around in a stroller, and you might think to yourself, oh my gosh, it's a dog in a stroller, but really the stroller allows us to get him to a better height for a wheelchair or a bedside, and also he overheats if I carry him around at the facility, so this way he can be in a stroller on a cool pack and just enjoying the whole time in the facility.
I notice he's got two different colored eyes. What's that?
He's got heterochromia, so when you often see a dog with this color fur, which is blue merle, you will see the two different tone eyes, a blue eye and a brown eye, and it's quite special. I think it just makes him that much more beautiful, and it's something unique and different, and people will talk about. I mean, sometimes I'll go into a room and, you know, a client who's not interacting with any of the other dogs, they see his eyes and start talking about it, and it's like a little kind of opening to making a relationship with them.
Yeah, good way to break the ice. Bologna, you're a beautiful dog, and you get to keep him at night, right? Take him home?
Yeah, so he's part of my family. All of our therapy dogs are owned by volunteers or staff. the bond that they have to have with the person that's taking them out to a facility really has to be quite a deep bond. So these are treasured family members that are certified for the work. They're tested for behavior, for medically screened, and if they enjoy the work, then they go out in our program. And we do about 55 to 60 visits a month out in the community. And you know, last year we saw over 25,000 people with our animals.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
But I guess the cockroach is not one of the therapy animals, right?
No. Well, and the thing is, we want to find the animal that the clients want to see, and also the animal that would enjoy the interaction. You know, some of our animals, they don't like to be touched by anybody that's not really their close personal friend, and that's not going to make a great therapy animal. We want the ones who every time they see a new person, they want to head on over and get a chance to get pet.
Sounds great. Well, Robin, this has been fascinating in here. Thank you very much for the tour.
Oh, thank you.
All your great animals. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's more Animal Zone.
Thank you, everybody.
My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Olive Street and find your treasure today.
The Santa Barbara County Animal Care Foundation is dedicated to saving animals' lives, but we need your help to continue this critical work. SBCACF provides year-round medical and surgical care so that abandoned, homeless, or abused animals receive the best second chance at finding a loving home.
No animal is turned away from surgical care.
To learn more and assist us in keeping that pledge, visit sbcanimalcare.org and make a donation today.
If they can be saved,
we want to save them.
Well, we're here now with Mike Arms, who's the CEO and president of the Helen Woodward Animal Center, and a little friend of his named Woodstock, I believe.
Yes, that's Woodstock. You know Woodstock's not going to be with us long. Somebody's going to adopt him right away.
Well, it seems like all your animals are very desirable, and a lot of adopters come here. What makes for a successful center like what you have here?
Well, what we show is that the pets that are in our facility are quality pets. People have the wrong perception of pets at animal facilities. They think they were turned in because there was something wrong with the pet. But there was really nothing wrong with the pet. There was something wrong with the person that had the pet, that they didn't know how to train it properly, they didn't have time or patience for the pet, so they just relinquish it. And what we do is we show that these pets have beauty, that they have love to give, that you don't have to go to a backyard breeder and a puppy mill to get a pet. We have beautiful pets.
And this one, I'm ready to adopt myself because he's awfully sweet. He's certainly ready for somebody, some lucky home. What's the story behind the Helen Woodward Animal Center, the history as far as how it developed?
Well, I came here 20 years ago last month, and at that time they were struggling. They really didn't have much money. They had too few people doing too much work, underpaid, really didn't have any money in the bank. And the only thing I brought different to them was a business mind. My heart is all animals, and people all over the world know that, but my mind is all business. The average stay for a pet now here is 3.5 days.
Wow, that's a real success story. Now you had a story you were going to share with us about animals.
Well, I didn't get involved in animal welfare like everybody else does. I didn't grow up thinking I want to be a veterinarian or I want to help animals. I was born in Kentucky and working on a farm. The one thing I knew I didn't want to be was a farmer. The work was too hard, the pay was too little, so I said right from school, I'm going where the money is, and I took off and I went to New York. Well, the fellow that was giving me the interview at the employment agency said, well, you're from Kentucky, you must like animals. I said, animals are okay, I'd never hurt one. I figured this guy saw a picture of a horse on a calendar somewhere and just assumed everybody from Kentucky liked animals. I said, let's get on with the interview. He said, how would you like to work for the ASPCA? I had no idea what he was talking about. Thought he was talking about an IBM. I didn't know what an ASPCA was. And I said, sounds interesting, tell me about it. He says it's a place that takes care of mistreated, abused, and unwanted pets. And I said, sounds like a nice place, but why are you talking to me? I have absolutely no interest in that. And he said, well, they need somebody to come into a nonprofit world more with a business mind that can put budgets together, finances, etc. Price was right. And I said, sure, I could do this. Well, I found out in a very short period of time I couldn't do it. In 7 months, I lost 25 pounds. I could not eat, I could not sleep. I was tormented by what I was witnessing every day. The ASPCA in New York City, it's a much different place today than it was back then in the late 60s. But back in the late 60s, in New York City, they were killing 140,000 animals a year. The street gangs were going through a phase back then to prove how tough and how macho they were. They were actually torturing puppies and kittens to hear them scream in pain, to show they were tough guys. They had no emotion, no feeling. They were really tough, and I would get what's left. So I couldn't take anymore. So an insurance company made me a very lucrative offer to leave the A and run their New York City offices, and I was bailing. I gave my 2 weeks notice, but there was somebody up there that said, no, I have a different plan for your life. And he was about to reveal it to me. When I was down to 6 days before I was to leave, they came to me and they said, Mike, there's a dog hit by a car on Davidson Avenue in the Bronx. And I said, okay, get a driver out and get it. And they said, that's just it, Mike, we have no drivers available. And this one's in really bad shape. So I did just what you would have done. I took off my suit jacket, put on a uniform jacket, and took the ambulance out myself. When I got to Davidson Avenue, this little black and tan terrier mix, looked just like Benji from the movies, but he was laying in the street and he was almost bent backwards in half. The car that hit him with such force, snapped his back and left him there to die. Oh. So when I got out of the ambulance and I'm standing above this little one, and he's shaking so badly from fear and pain, just as I'm about to reach down for him, these three fellows came out of the building doorway and said, what do you think you're doing? And I said, it's obvious, this little one's dying, I'm taking it to the hospital. They said, no, you're not taking it anywhere. I said, why? Is this your dog? They said, no, we're betting on how long it's going to live. And I said, well, you guys are really sick. So I reached down, I scooped this little one up, and I'm holding him cradled in my arms. And he's shaking so vehemently, I thought he was going to fall. So I just looked down at him, and he was staring into my eyes, just as if he was staring into my soul. And he held me spellbound for those seconds in time. And his body just started to relax, as if to say, I feel safe now. And then just as I turned to reach for the ambulance door handle, that's when these three fellas beat me from behind, stabbed me, and laid me in the street.
Oh my God.
That's when I found the compassion that these magnificent pets have for us that we as human beings will never be able to emulate. That little one that should not have been able to move by any shape of the imagination found a way to crawl to my side, and he started to lick me back to consciousness. He would not give up on me until I opened my eyes again. And when I opened my eyes and I was staring into his beautiful brown eyes one more time and I realized what was taking place, I laid in that street and I cried and I prayed, don't do it, don't take my life today. Give me another chance and I promise you I'll devote my life to them. Well, seconds, not minutes, but seconds after I made that promise, my friend just gently closed his eyes and he crossed over Rainbow Bridge. And I know someday in my heart that we'll take our walk together that was meant to be. But from that day to now, I've kept my promise. From that day to now, I have helped facilitate and saving more than 16 million orphan pets. And I figure I have a couple more million in me to go before I take that walk.
Mike, you're incredible. Thank you. Well, folks, I think that sums up today's visit at this incredible place, the Helen Woodward Animal Center. And we hope you'll join us next time on Animal Zone.
Hi, I'm Carrie Burns, and I'm the Executive Director for the Santa Barbara Humane Society. And what we want you to know is that humane societies are local to each community. No one is associated with the National Humane Society. So when you donate or you adopt, know that everything that you touch is right there in your own backyard. We want you to donate, volunteer, and adopt. For more information, visit sbhumanesociety.org.
Weren't there some amazing animals and guests? You know, you who adopt animals from shelters, you are the true heroes. If you want to see more about AnimalZone and other things, check out our website, animalzone.org, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Never was a friend so true, never was a friend like you. Canine, you're my best friend. Canine of mine, friend for all time. So glad you're my best friend. Through thick and thin, we'll see things through. Canine of mine, so true. Did I find you or did you find me? Either way, it's still serendipity. When I saw you, it was plain to see you weren't just another lassie wannabe. Oh, canine of mine, friend for all time. I'm so glad you're my best friend.